In 218 BC, the Roman Republic felt completely untouchable. They possessed the most disciplined legions in the known world, dominated the strategic waters of the Mediterranean, and rested safely behind a natural, deadly frozen wall that protected them from the rest of mainland Europe, the Alps. To the Roman Senate, this colossal barrier of jagged peaks, unpredictable avalanches, and perpetual blizzards was a divine shield designed by the gods themselves to safeguard the Republic. No army in human history had ever dared to cross these vertical frozen summits with a massive military force, as doing so was widely considered absolute suicide. But across the sea, one man looked at this deadly wall and decided to completely rewrite the rules of ancient warfare. His name was Hannibal Barca, the brilliant 26-year-old commander of Carthage, and he was about to unleash a nightmare that Rome would never forget. Driven by a solemn childhood oath of eternal hatred toward Rome, sworn at his father's altar, Hannibal knew that attacking by sea was exactly what the Roman legions expected and prepared for. To achieve total, unimaginable tactical surprise, he chose the impossible route. Hannibal gathered an elite, diverse army of 50,000 infantry, 9,000 cavalry, and 37 giant North African war elephants, marching them directly toward the frozen, unforgiving jaws of the Alps. The 15-day ascent into the clouds quickly turned into a brutal, agonizing test of human survival and sheer willpower.
We must survive this!
As the army climbed higher into the narrow, slippery mountain passes, the environment itself became a deadly weapon. The air grew thin, freezing temperatures began to induce frostbite, and deep snow hid treacherous ledges. To make matters worse, savage local mountain tribes, the Gauls, lay in ambush along the cliffs above. They rained massive boulders and spears down onto the exposed columns below. In the sheer chaos, terrified horses and pack animals lost their footing on the icy tracks, plunging thousands of feet into the rocky abyss with echoing screams. Hannibal, showing the serene tactical genius that would later define his legacy, had to orchestrate brilliant, high-risk nighttime counterattacks along the cliffs just to clear the path forward for his freezing men. Yet the mountain had even deadlier traps waiting for them near the summit. Just as the army believed the worst was behind them, a massive landslide completely blocked their path forward. It left a vertical wall of solid stone and ice that neither man, horse, nor elephant could bypass. They were trapped on a narrow ledge with a sheer drop on one side and a solid wall on the other. With his men starving, freezing, and on the very verge of mutiny, Hannibal flatly refused to turn back. Instead, he engineered a brilliant, legendary solution using ancient chemistry and geological science. He ordered his exhausted, shivering soldiers to harvest whatever alpine wood they could find and build a massive, raging bonfire around the base of the blocking boulder. Once the stone was glowing red-hot from the intense heat, Hannibal commanded his men to drench the rock in gallons of sour, acidic vinegar from their military rations. The sudden, extreme temperature drop caused a violent thermal shock, cracking the structural integrity of the solid stone and rendering it brittle. Within hours, his men were able to easily shatter the obstruction with iron picks, carving a brand new road right out of the mountainside. This incredible feat allowed his legendary war elephants to finally march forward. While it seems miraculous that these tropical African beasts survived the sub-zero temperatures, Hannibal had carefully chosen North African forest elephants, a smaller, agile, and highly adaptable mountain species that was built for rough terrain. Though most of these magnificent creatures would tragically perish from the extreme cold and lack of nutrition shortly after reaching the Italian plains, their sheer presence was a terrifying psychological weapon designed to shatter Roman morale. When Hannibal finally descended from the clouds into the fertile valleys of northern Italy, the toll of the mountain was devastating. Nearly half of his original force had been swallowed by the ice, the cliffs, and the brutal alpine climate. But the 26,000 warriors who survived were no longer just soldiers. They had been forged by the frozen hell of the Alps into the most hardened, ruthless military force on the planet. When word reached the Roman Senate that a Carthaginian army had materialized out of the impassable mountains with giant war elephants at their gates, absolute panic gripped the Republic. Rome's illusion of absolute safety was shattered in a single moment. Hannibal had proven to the world that when there is no path forward, a true leader burns the old rules and carves a new empire out of solid stone. If you faced a wall as high as the Alps in your own life, would you turn back, or would you find a way to break through it? Let me know in the comments below what your move would be. If this story of pure human will and ancient genius inspired you, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another legendary log of history.